Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show at Rise Up Show with me, your host, the Queen Bee, Dani. How are you feeling? As we chat this morning to the devilishly handsome, the fabulously wonderful, the incredibly knowledgeable Mr. Fidelbo Hill, the modern man. Good morning. Jodie Salt, good morning. Babna Reddy, good morning. Elise Woodbine, good morning. The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon, good morning, sir.
Shut up, for f***'s sake. Jesus.
The fantastic Lizzie Jackson Barrett, good morning. Josephine, Sandra, everybody, good morning. Good morning, you bunch. I'm on the wonk. What's this about? Hang on, wait there. Talk amongst yourselves. Wait. Let me get myself sorted. I was on the wonk. How are you doing? Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to the show, Rise Up Show with me, your host. Hi, I'm Dani Wallace, and I am the Queen Bee. Ridiculous statement to make of a Tuesday. For those of you that haven't caught the show before, welcome to the show Rise Up Show, where it is my fake telly show on Facebook. We've been running now, can you believe, over a year. We missed our birthday. We should have done something. We need to do something, don't we? We need to have like a proper celebration. Not that like last week wasn't enough, because it was Be Inspired. Good morning, wherever you are. Please tell me where you are watching from in the world. Tell us what the weather's doing. Apologies for the mess here. My car is packed for yet another business-related jaunt. So I am delivering COVID-secure, put your pitchforks down, intensive for the next couple of days. So my car is packed. So I've got the show this morning, and then I've got, I'm hanging out with my Be More Power 6 sisters. We're going to be planning their trajectories and planning the happenings within their businesses. And then I am going to be popping in the car and heading on. I don't even know where I'm going. I have to look at my diary. Does anyone else do this? I have to look at my diary in the morning to kind of tell myself whereabouts I'm going to be, either in the world or on Zoom. Exhausted, Louisa Herridge, exhausted today, post Be Inspired, plus the full moon. It was the full moon last night. How are we feeling? Are we all okay? Those of us that are woo, those of us that welcome the moon energies into our lives, are you all right? I had my little moonology cards last night. Pulled a card, had a little sit. It's misty and sunny, Shona, in Yorkshire. What's the weather doing where you are? You're in Hertfordshire. Claire Huggins, good morning to you. Who's this Facebook user? Tell us who you are. If you are in the Hive, or on my personal profile, and you go to the title, it'll say, give StreamYard permission for us to see your name. Click, yes, I give permission, and then we can see who you are and where you are, just like Claire, like there. So how are we all feeling? Are you feeling good? Tuesday is a good day in business for me. So Monday, kind of get fired up, a lot of admin to catch up on, kind of plan out the week, do our social, stuff like that. And then we've got Wednesday. I'm missing out Tuesday because I'm telling you why Tuesday is exciting. Then we've got Wednesday, which is, a couple of days away from the weekend, but we're in the throes of it. We're definitely in the week then. And then you've got Thursday, which is, pre-party, pre-drinks for Friday. Friday, you're sliding into the DMs of the weekend and you're already there. So Tuesday's a mega productive day because the weekend is neither side, is it? We're so far away from Sunday, it don't matter anymore. We're so far away from Saturday, we can only be sat here in our productive space. That's where I'm at. Of course it is, Jojo Smith, 2-2 Tuesday. Always a good day. It absolutely is. Zala Marsh, is lambing season done? How are you doing? I've been trying to keep up with everybody, but it's been an impossibility. I know it's been lambing season for you, so sending love to you and all of the little baby lambs. Now that I've moved out into the suburbs, we get to see lots of the baby lambs all around. It's one of the perks. It's quite nice. It's grey and boring. Joe Wildsmith in Lincoln this morning. Morning, Pixie. Good morning, Jules Kelly, our incredible sponsor for the Media Matters panel for Be Inspired. How are you all doing? Are you good? We are getting in here for a cuddle this morning. I announced yesterday, big announcement, that on Tuesday next week, we are going to be launching one of my favorite times in the IATQB Hive. We are launching the Be Heard So You Want to Be a Speaker challenge. So it's completely free to take part. 3 days, well, 4 days really. We're going to do Tuesday, it's bank holiday, Monday, isn't it? We're going to do Tuesday through to Friday. I'm going to set you some tasks. I'm doing some workshops, all for free, sharing and challenging you guys to get speaking about your businesses and your missions. All right. So I want us as a hive, as a community, to be super visible next week. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to hold your hand every step of the way. So if you do want to get involved with that, I'm just going to pop. That's a StreamYard. You'd all be joining my StreamYard. You don't want that. Well, you might want that, but I'm not having you gate crashing because I've got the phenomenal Chris Dawes from Scruffy Monkeys joining us this morning. So you're not gate crashing us because we are well overdue a catch up. So don't be gate crashing. There we go. So it's iamthequeenbee.co.uk/ what's that? I got a lipstick on my teeth. / challenge. All you need to do is go there. It tells you what's happening day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Some mega prizes on the table for you all as well. You all know I like a little bit of swag and I like to give away some prizes. So we're going to be doing that next week. You've got to be in it to win it. Joe Wildsmith, I'm so up for the challenge. Perfect timing for my sexy new venture. Joe Wildsmith, tell us more about your sexy new venture. What is that about? That is exciting. Or will we find out more next week when you tell us all about it as part of the challenge? Jojo, I have huge FOMO, so I'm going to tiptoe around the challenge in my tutu. Don't miss the challenge. I'm trying to catch up on what I missed at Be Inspired. Anyone else still on catch up? There's loads of people. Do you know what? As well, there's loads of people getting on-demand access as well, which you can get. So you can go and grab your access and watch all of the talks and get all of the juicy bonuses as well from the link. So if you go to Instagram, go to the Queen Bee Dani, and it's the top link in there. You can go and get yourself access to Be Inspired. I've seen the prizes. Oh my God. Yes, they're amazing. Helen just signed up. Can't wait for that spa day. Oh, it's Helen Louise Adams is in it to win it. There is a spa and strategy day on the table. So you and I will go and have our own little retreat, create strategy for your business, your speaking strategy, all that sort of stuff. It's a big one. So you want to get involved. I'm good. Thank you. Hey, Zala. Finished lambing now. So back to a bit of normal, whatever normal looks like. Apart from the 2 I have to bottle feed, Jojo Smith has her own named lamb. Jojo. Has she? Amazing. Hitting the fighting talk. Yes, Helen, I'm here for it. Simon Clemens is getting involved in the Be Heard So You Want to Be a Speaker Challenge. Good. So you should. Get amongst it. You are going to absolutely love it. Not that sort of sexy. Oh, I don't know whether I'm disappointed or not. The lamb is called Sassy. I'm so proud. I love it. I love it. So, yeah, I'm going to be helping you become super visible next week. It is where I have my sleeves up. I am right there with you, right there with the whole community, getting more visible, speaking about our mission and our businesses out in the world, out in social media. So there's loads of you watching this morning. Make sure you signed up. Is the prize getting to meet Chris Dawes? If so, I'm well up for that. He would be up for that too. I have got no doubt. And speaking of Chris Dawes, we have him joining us on the show just now. I had the pleasure of meeting this gentleman just a couple of years ago. It feels like forever you've been in my life, Chris. When I went to my very, very first personal development event for myself. So I've been to like Tony Robbins stuff and all of that, gone and done that whole Unleash the Power Within stuff, and it was amazing. But at the time that I met this gentleman, your girl was struggling, let's say. I was still with the cosmetics business that I was with. I was singing my shoulda, coulda, wouldas up and down the motorway. It was only just a couple of short years ago. And here we are, both of us today, in completely different spaces within our business. So not only is Chris Dawes the founder and CEO of Scruffy Monkey, which is a phenomenal web company, he is also one of the most exciting upcoming motivational speakers hitting up on the Northwest Circuit and beyond. Please welcome to the show my friend and yours, Chris Dawes. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going? I'm excited. I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait. It made me laugh beforehand. We like two cackling old hens who haven't seen each other in ages. Where we have like flipping neck.
Because we are two cackling old ends that haven't seen each other in ages.
Yeah, we have been round the block, my friend. Do you know what? I was just thinking when you were speaking there about the personal development day that you were on, and I remember straight after the event, you went live in your car in the car park.
Yeah.
And that was my first ever time of actually coming across you and hearing what you were about and what you stood for and all that.
Yeah.
And I knew, and I promise you this, I actually messaged some people about you and said, wow, genuinely I did. And I said, this girl is special. She's got, I mean that. I remember it very, very, very clearly.
It was amazing. So we went to Brad Burton's Now What Live. So both of us been members of Brad's membership and have been part of that. And it's particularly brilliant for people who are at that kind of juxtaposition in their lives and their business where they're asking themselves the question, now what? And that was the question I was asking myself at that point in time, that my diary was stacked out, but I was doing lots of high volume, low value work. So I wasn't really charging my worth within my singing business. I was having to do multi-level marketing as an aside because I didn't know how else to make money. And it was a really incredible community to become a part of. You guys became my business family. I wrote about it in my book, like having brothers and sisters that were in a similar spot. And Chris, when I met you, Scruffy Monkey was already established. I remember us we was in similar circles. I met your wife, Lindsay, who, you work side by side with in a very similar way to the way that Wallace and I work. In fact, we were just talking about the dynamics of that. We'll talk about that this morning, the dynamics of that and how that works, because that's not for everybody working in that kind of situation. I remember we were in similar circles. Lindsay had been to some networking groups that were the same ones I would frequent or even sing at. We supported the same charities and all of this really interesting alignment and stuff that happened. And I was like, right, these are my people. And we formed friendships. And tell us more about Scruffy Monkey to start with, because we've got a lot of ground to cover this morning.
Yeah, so Scruffy Monkey right now is we're based in the Northwest. We have over 200 businesses now using our services up and down the UK and further afield, actually. So we've go from sole traders right through to corporate companies, 20, 30, 40 million pound turnover using our services. And we do it all from our posh shed.
You've got an incredible posh set. Somehow,
I love honestly, what a decision that was, mate. Absolutely class. I absolutely love it. Absolutely adore it. We've 7-8 years we've been going. I previously had a corporate job at Blackburn Rovers, and like a lot of people, I was just part of the machine. I didn't fit in. I was very much run out of track. I was mentally gone. On the antidepressants, anxiety, all that, like a lot of people suffer from. And I knew something had to change. And at the time, I was given an enterprise centre to look after, as you do. That was basically, no idea what I was doing.
Casual.
An enterprise centre, off you go, son, hardly much.
Okay.
So I had that, but in actual fact, it really worked for me because what was happening, I was interacting daily with business owners who were just starting their businesses, and no offense, I was thinking, well, what makes them special? Right. Why are they doing it? And I can't do that. What's the difference in these people? So I ended up telling
the batshit.
True story. Like they're freaking nuts as well, just like you. So I ended up telling Blackburn Rovers to shove the job up the fucking ass and just, right, I'm fucking done. You're a bunch of dickheads, etc. I'm sick of fucking telling you what to do.
You went in.
Big mate, big. I'm gonna get a fucking NDA from Rovers at this rate. It was in the film Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Right. Lindsay, my wife, she's cringing because she knows what's fucking coming. Right. Right. Start of Jeremy Maguire, there's that bit where he writes that mission statement in it in the first quarter of an hour, and he sends it to all the management team, and he gets the flick, basically, doesn't he, right, for doing it, right? I did that. I did that. So I was that sort of pissed off, and I was that passionate about what, I'm all in. If I'm in, I am all in at what I'm doing. That I was so frustrated. I wrote it all down. I said, look, management need to do this, I wrote it all, and I emailed it to myself at work, and I was always the first one in at work. And what I did is I printed it. I just went in and I printed it all out. 20 copies out on the photocopier, and it was on management's desk before I knew it. Every single fucker got one.
You went there.
Oh, mate. So everybody ended up seeing that. All management seen that. And it was like the Mary Celeste all the day until the afternoon. All the stuff like, Wes, you've said it, you've done it. But I was fucking dragged in and got dragged over hot coals for it and a slap on the wrist. But they knew they needed me. And I think that's when I started to realise, being honest, that I was actually slightly different to a lot of people in what I was willing to do, and that stepping forward.
Yeah.
That a lot of people, not the best thing to do, but the point is, you've got to have that belief and that passion and that stepping forward. You know what? I'm that person who ain't going to sit on the fucking back seat, mate.
Yeah.
I want to fucking drive the bus.
Right. And it takes sometimes it takes us a really long time to get there, to realize we kind of are molded. I was talking about this yesterday with Sarah. We are molded to go to school, go to college, go to uni, get a job. And we're kind of molded almost into compliancy. And for those of us that are a little bit different, a little bit maverick, a little bit, the unicorns, right? That are really... that are visionary, like when you and I talk, we often talk in that really excitable space, because in our businesses, that's our job. It's to be visionary. It's to be excited. We are the fire starters within our particular fields. It's difficult and sometimes often the cause of a lot of mental health issues when you are bound by corporate in that way. I know it directly affected me.
Yeah, I'm not someone who can be sort of silenced, and
never.
Yeah, exactly. and I know that it comes with that, does come with other problems. You kind of like, you're not going to be for everybody.
Right.
Stuff's going to slip out of your mouth that doesn't come out right
every day.
We've all done it. But I'd rather be that way than the person who's mute in the corner.
Right.
And I think that's like what you're saying as well, as people need to understand as us as speakers or at the front of your business,
right,
that the sort of multiple sort of personalities going on at times where, so although I can sort of turn it on and quite loud and actually of an evening, right, I'm actually really quiet sat in the corner, and that's actually my happy space as well. So I get different satisfaction being at different levels at times, but the power's knowing that you can kind of go through them gears when you want and slide back as well.
Leona's just saying the troublemaker's the one that can't keep their mouth shut.
Right, love that.
Because sometimes we are seen as troublemakers when we're in that sort of environment. I remember working in the L&D facility and having these incredible ideas, and I knew, like, being intelligent, I knew the output that was going to happen if we was to do this training, or if we was going to approach this in this way. I'll be able to see the output, but it didn't fit within the budgets, within their trajectory, what they had planned. And then you couldn't be creative around what it was that you wanted to do. You couldn't make the impact that you wanted to make because there's a bigger mission going on. So if you've got your own mission and you've got that about you, then sometimes breaking away and allowing yourself to create your business in that way is necessary. And you've gone on to do that beautifully, A, with Scruffy Monkey, and B, now as you're entering the speaking scene as well.
Yeah, it's been sort of what I get excited about, and what I've been trained with the whole mindset personal development thing is how it's natural. It's a natural evolution. So I haven't forced any of this. It's landed at the right, which gives me the right vibes, because if I'm forcing anything, it's going to be rushed or it's not right. Yeah. So, I saw that, okay, we're getting a few approaches here, being on podcasts, etc. Will you speak here? Will you speak there? Great feedback from doing certain things. So all the ticks were starting to arrive. And Simon Clements, my great friend, is on here.
He's an amazing guy. Hey, Simon.
Absolutely phenomenal guy, and I consider him a really, really good friend. And so I sent him a message and said, right, mate, I've just got a few things coming up. I want to start thinking about getting some assets together, some graphics, as appeared on and all that, to start slowly raising that profile, start slowly lifting it, because I was looking months in front.
Yeah.
But what he did was, off his own back, he created my own brand for me. And he sent it in a message, and it was one of the most special times in my life. Like, and it was that little push that the penny just dropped, and it was like, right, I'm here now. What are we actually waiting for?
Right.
The thing that you're waiting for ain't gonna come. That final moment of you are a speaker, you've got to create that moment yourself.
Right. And again, it's something really interesting. I was talking to so I've got a couple of programs on the go at the moment. So I've got Move Beat, which is Overcoming Self-Sabotage. And I was talking to my incredible group last night about articulating who it is that you are. Yeah. And when I came out of corporate and started to work professionally as a singer, I still found it really difficult when somebody said, "What do you do?" to say, "Oh, I'm a professional singer." Now I'm a professional speaker. I get paid significant amounts of money to go and talk to people. Yeah. I get paid to teach people how to do this. What am I? I'm a public speaking coach. I'm a leader of a movement but we've got to be able to say these things in order to speak it into being. And yes, we've got to train for it. And yes, we've got to make sure that we've cut our teeth and we're valid. I can't just turn up and say, "Hey, I'm a surgeon, everybody," and start wielding my knife at people. But there is a degree of allowing yourself in your expertise to articulate it, right?
This is the cornerstone of what my coaching is. So my primary coach is Cos Crosley, who I work with.
He is amazing. The mindset technician.
He's changed our lives. Simple as that. He's changed our lives. We work for him for an hour a week. And the fundamental thing we have worked on my mindset is being who I am today, not who I was in the past. Okay. Right. So I'm not Chris from Barrowan. I'm lucky and fortunate that they do all this. No, actually, I'm a CEO of a national organisation.
Yes, bitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, and it's every single part of your life. It's not just what you're projecting out there. It's your belief, your demeanour, how you operate on a daily basis. You've got to live it.
Yeah,
and enjoy it. And honestly, it's literally every single part of my life now is at that level of operating of, do you know what? You're a manager, you're a serious deal. You're not that guy you used to be.
Yeah.
And that there's so many positives to that, but you also need to understand that as you change and how you operate, changing your beliefs and the way you operate, there's a fallout that people don't tell you about. What they don't tell you is your relationships and how you look on the world fundamentally shifts. So people who I thought were my heroes, guess what? They ain't my heroes anymore.
Yeah,
because they don't make sense anymore to me.
Right.
Certain friendships don't make sense to me anymore.
Mm-hmm. And it's that conversation. I mean, you've heard me speak about this when we talk about crabs in a bucket, and you are that different kind of crabby that makes a break for it. And often the people around you who only know you as you were, not who you are, want to keep you safe. Are you sure you want to be doing that? Are you working too hard? You don't want to do. Did you really just say that? All of these things that, that's not the Chris that we know. That's not the Dani that we know. I was the I'll start things and not finish them kind of girl. I was the party girl, the pisshead, all of these things. Person who can't make decent decisions about their relationships, about their trajectory in life, just like a pinball pinging around the place. These people that I kind of grew up in inverted commas with, that's how I would be seen. Even by members of the family, I was the dramatic one. I was all of these things when it wasn't any of those. I wasn't a drama queen. I wasn't over dramatic about anything. I was on fire. I was on fire and I had no fuel. Like it was hard. And when you start to see yourself in other people and you start to build those people around you, all of a sudden, I look at my circle now, Chris, and I know yours is the same. It's strong. Like I can't fail. Because of the people that I'm around now.
I genuinely feel, and you always feel like a bit of an ass saying it, but I feel invincible. Like how can I possibly fail with the circle that I've got? All I have to do is do what they say, learn from the lessons people are giving you, do what they tell you to do, be true to yourself. I've far exceeded my previous programming, like miles ahead already, and I've got I feel it just ain't going to happen, right? It's not going to happen. Like I know it's not. It's done. I've just got all I have to do is just keep on going.
Yeah.
it's a magical position to be in where your belief is so high. And with what I've trained now, all I need to do is just picture the future. That's all we have to do, and just keep moving that steps forward. Happy days.
I know you attribute Cros with a lot of your success and your growth, not just with Scruffy Monkey, but with your family, like the whole thing, like that whole growth of you.
Dani, I think that's a massive point that people don't understand how interconnected these things are.
Yeah.
Well, everyone just goes on about the business development and working on the business. Do you know what? Let me tell you something. I had so many people in the earlier days want to help me with my business, do this, do that. There was something that didn't change, and it was me.
Right.
So I have to change and adapt to be able to move forward in my business life, and I have to change and adapt and grow to look after my business life.
Yeah.
Right. So the things that I have to deal with now, business wise, right? The Chris of 3 or 4 years ago fucking wouldn't have been able to handle it.
No
chance. The stuff that lands on my desk now, no chance. Well, the amount of clients that I have and the processes and stuff.
The amount of moving parts that you've got in your business and all of the stuff that you've got going on. There's a lot.
All that, and the family, we've had a huge family dynamic change in recent months that, we've had to adapt with. And I need to, I've had to stay true to myself, but also learn to mentally switch off, keep relaxed, because I understand that it's all interconnected. Happiness in my life comes first, and when I have happiness in my life, the business takes care of itself anyway. And people don't understand that. They don't understand. Find your happiness now and in your life, and funnily enough, guys, your business is pretty damn easy when that happen.
I always found, like even a couple of years ago, conversation that you were having with me, and I know you kind of stood up at an event we were at and talked about the interactions that you'd had with Cros, particularly around a kitchen that you wanted to buy. You wanted to kit your kitchen out, and it was really interesting conversation because I'm sat there in my not so great house back where I was, and you were working with someone that allowed you. I remember when you got it all booked and sorted and everything, and you were like, it was this.
I tell you, everyone goes on about this kitchen, but
it was a pivotal conversation, and I remember looking at you and being inspired by you and being inspired by you and Lynn's and having those conversations with Cros and allowing yourselves to have that lock clicked, like just the click in the lock, that understanding that you've got to relax, that even though you are a visionary and we are on fire, and sometimes it feels like a bit of an inferno sometimes with us, that we create almost a persistence that creates resistance, like it's hard, like we come up against ourselves. So that when you started to learn that and implement that and start to see that start to bear fruit, and Scruffy Monkey took off and you got your kitchen, I'm sat there just a few steps behind thinking, oh, it can be done now. Right. Okay.
Yeah, because it's that, we're all sat there waiting for that. Oh, yeah, you can do that now. Well, no
permission slip.
Done. Right. Oh, you're allowed that now. Well done. Well, that ain't gonna land. So I give permission to myself to, the kitchen thing was actually for sort of a greater lesson of learning to, and it's something people don't like talking about, but you are allowed to talk about it, people, and it's money. People are scared to talk about money.
We are not scared on this show to talk about money. We love money. Bring it in. Bring it in.
I love money. People
say
I love money because what money does, it gives me opportunities. It gives me opportunities, and it creates time to do what I want when I want with my family and have the life that I want to live. And that kitchen, we didn't think we could afford it or have it.
Right.
It doesn't even factor in our life now. It's paid for because he's taught us about creating financial voids of just, you've got to go for it and it'll look after itself. So I actually now, and this is a weird lesson, and some understanding won't get it because you've got to go through it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the truth. The more I spend, the more I generate. True story.
You also take massive amounts in your business of intentional action as well. So you have you have the idea. You were talking about creating like a financial void. The idea is that you have the space and we fill it up with the money, right? So it's just like somehow, unless we've got a lesson to learn, somehow we always have just enough to get what it is that we need. And then when we start to create that void and say, okay, this void is now for a holiday, and you book the holiday, all of a sudden your back's against the wall, that holiday's happening, and it'll take quite a lot to get in the way of that. But if you're always taking intentional action towards that money or that holiday or the house or the kitchen or whatever it is that you need, then actually an example of this is just a few weeks ago for Be Inspired. There are a lot of moving parts in Be Inspired. A lot of people need paying in Be Inspired. And in a space just a few weeks ago, I knew what we're launching. I know what we're creating. I absolutely trust and relax around the event because I know that the incredible things are going to happen directly after. It's so delicious to be a part of course it is. But all of that wasn't there before. I didn't just all get paid magically. We had to create the void and then take intentional action. Everything I do now is about intentional action. You do the same, right?
Exactly. So myself and Lindsay, so co-founder, wife, she's listening here.
All round belter.
All round belter, and I have to say that.
I don't. She's
otherwise I'm going to get something thrown at me.
Fully hot.
So we always have something that we are aiming for, or something to buy as a target for us, not in our business, in our life.
Right.
So getting a nice new patio soon in a few weeks. All right. So just things like that give you fulfillment in your life and enjoyment, and you can see things developing and happening. That gives you happiness, which then starts to feed your business again, and it creates a lovely cycle of things moving along and enjoying it. Because so many people don't actually really get the fruits of the labor from the business. They just sit there and they don't learn to enjoy it. Learning to enjoy something for some people is actually incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult, and it's something we've really had to learn to do. So Lynn's my other half, terrible for it, absolutely terrible for it. So she's a typical sort of old school saver of money, keep it in the bank, which is great. There's a purpose there, I understand it, but now it's, do you know what? I know we've got COVID going on, but we've got loads of shows booked to go and see, and say, you know what? It's all about that lifestyle and get fulfillment and enjoyment out of your life.
I think there's a transition that happens when you come from a place of difficulty, moving into a place of abundance. It's really hard sometimes to relinquish that attachment that you have over the just having enough, the just scraping by. There's a real shift that needs to happen around that as well, isn't there? That I remember, my car breaking down all the time, and I'd get paid, and then I'd have this little bit left over, and all of a sudden I need 4 new tires on my car because I don't know, my tires have been slashed, or I'd be being thrown curveballs all the time that I couldn't get over, and every time I had to really reflect. There was this huge fear around being bound by tax credits. I could only earn so much, because if I earned above a certain amount, everything would be taken away. I would have no security or stability, even when I'm working for myself. So allowing myself to approach that without fear and saying, okay, if that's the threshold, I need to make this much to make it so things are safe. That allowed me to make that shift over into that abundance space, into that being really kept space. Have you ever had any fear like that around?
What really springs to my mind, and something that I really had to work on, and it was only when I started. It was quite a long process for me. Was actually guilt.
Right.
I actually felt hugely guilty for my success. Hugely.
Yeah, guilty. I hear that.
I almost didn't want to share it and shout about it and the good things that were going on. So I'm from my mum brought me up, single parent family. You like a lot of people. I come from not the most affluent areas in Barrow-in-Furness. Quite a run downtown, and
going out along the Gaza Strip.
The Gaza Strip, there we go.
I know Barrow well.
That's what I'm talking about. So, the things that were happening, my home and everything that I've got now, my mum hasn't been able to have that
Yeah.
And that was that. Let me tell you something. That was incredibly difficult for me. But
was it? Sorry, go on.
No. What happened was there was a really simple answer, and I didn't do it. It was to let her in.
Right.
Let her in and actually enjoy that success with me.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough. 2019. It was. I won an Inspire Award, the He for She Inspire Award.
I remember when you did. I was dead proud. Amazing.
Women in business and the local community. Great, wonderful. And I took my mum. And she understood for the first time, hang on a minute, he's done all right.
Yeah.
And she could enjoy the evening and the event and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And I got it on that night. I got it. That night wasn't about the award. It was another step forward. It was another corner turned where I was unleashed again. Like we've got a level unlocked now because now we can start to live the life that we got without the shackles on. So all I have to do is just let people in. I can be quite what's the word? It could be quite it'd be seen as selfish, but I can be quite insular. What I'm sharing with close family, believe it or not.
No, I get it.
I actually can revert to quite a quiet person when I'm around. Certainly in the old days.
Yeah.
Sort of default position. Go back.
There's a lot of learned behaviours that are within that as well that go back from when you were little.
Massive, mate. But it's like if I was to go back to Barrow, I haven't been back there. We go, fucking hell, who's this guy? And funnily enough, it did happen. I remember going to my auntie's house and just catching up and like, oh yeah, in fact, I've got a copy. Yeah, I'm on front of this magazine. I've got this podcast coming in. I'm like, what the fuck? It didn't make sense to them because again, they're judging you on a previous sort of position.
Life, like without your and then when you move into new networks, it's interesting because when I was saying last night to my Move B group, when you move into new networks, they meet you where you are. Yeah. So when I meet people now, they're like, chuffing out, like, international best-selling author, or incredible speaking programs, multi-six-figure business, all this. So that's where they meet me. They don't meet me where I was. So it's interesting. I had my uncle, my dad's brother, came round to the house the other week. We were sort of tying some things up, and my dad's in a home, and we've been managing his court case while we were tying some things up. And he keeps relatively distant from us, and that's cool. It's not, it is what it is. But I've always been the one that potentially wasn't going to do very well, or if I was going to do well, it was going to be in singing, or like I said before about being the drama queen and all of that sort of stuff. I am a serious and successful businesswoman. It's very difficult for the people who knew me as a child not to see me as this almost 40-year-old serious and even though I wear poo suits to work sometimes, like a serious and successful businesswoman. And he was leaving, and he just kind of looked at the house and he went, "Doing all right, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yes, I fucking am." Yeah.
Like my mates, I haven't seen some of my mates. Who I was thinking about this the other day. So, who was my best mate? I haven't seen that when I was living. I haven't seen it for like close on 20 years. A previous friend of mine. Now, when I knocked around with them, when we used to be in with other mates and stuff, I was almost mute.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Really quiet person. I'd just be sort of there in the numbers type of thing. And I was thinking if I saw this guy now, I'd have no relationship or no.
What would you say?
What would I say? How would I connect with this person now? What would I just wouldn't be able to do that anymore.
Yeah, I get it.
And what was interesting was when I listened to the live event of yours last week, and Fidel was on there.
I love Fidel.
Fidel was amazing. Honestly, his talk was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. But it's like Fidel, I haven't spoke to him in about 18 months. Now, I was thinking, do you know what? If Fidel spoke to me now, we're still mates and stuff, but he wouldn't get how much I've changed just in the in the space of 18 months, he'd be speaking at the Chris of 18 months ago.
Yeah.
He won't understand that I'm now a speaker. Do you know what? My business is now like a huge business, Fidel, and how I operate and how I live. You know, and it's like you say, as time goes by, and you know, we have to change as well. And it's not a disrespect of the past. It's an acknowledgement that you need to move on.
And what is great is when you are around people who are in growth with you. I think there is a difference. So you can enter a certain space, and then depending on whether you are one of the unicorns, you might outgrow that space, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that you're disrespectful of that space. That's not, you're not disrespecting the people that are around there or anything like that. But sometimes you kind of outgrow you, and the people that stay with you are the people that are moving at the same rate as you, the people that are moving at that trajectory, and that's phenomenal. That really is incredible. Shona says something that's really really important here. This is amazing to hear how important self-development is. It's lovely to hear it from a bloke, as lots of people think it's a fluffy girly thing. You'd be surprised, Shona, just how many men are working on themselves because they get it. They understand that it's that area of personal growth that leads to professional growth. And Chris is just a beautiful example of that.
Yeah, it was one of my first decisions that I made when I started Scruffy Monkey. I knew for it to be all it could be, that I'd actually be the biggest problem in that. So
yes.
Obviously, I knew, you know, the success or failure will not be about technical ability or businesses. It'll actually be what's going on in my head.
Right.
That will ultimately dictate, because I've got a history of complete and utter self-destruct.
Right.
In relationships, you know, it struck me when you said about past about not finishing things.
Right.
Just absolute not finishers, starting things. I used terrible history.
Being excited by the shiny thing, putting it down, excited by another shiny thing, putting it down.
And that actually wasn't. Yeah, I realised that I'm in a situation where that's actually not really possible here, Chris. You're in well above here, mate. You
have to finish.
You have to finich. And
God, you were like working web development, web design. You've got to finish, otherwise your clients haven't got what it is that they need.
So, you know, I've had to go through some real painful things about finishing in my life. You know, Lindsay and I, as a husband and wife team, you know, people look at us and they think, oh, they're tight. You know, amazing relationship that we do. But me in my younger days, when me and Lindsay started seeing each other, terrible. So within 6 months, we were shacked up with our first house and everything we possibly want. I couldn't handle it.
No.
Because of that level of success and happiness, I wasn't actually ready for it. I hadn't changed enough. So what would happen is I'd be throwing in these virtual grenades, and I walked out on her twice. Yeah, I loved her to death, but because I couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I'm not good enough to have this. What's going on here?
And then you'll think of every reason not to, and you're not the problem. So you know, it'll be, oh, I'm just not happy. I'm not ready for this. I need to, you know, whatever it is. I'll pick fights. There's a premium example of, you know, like starting to be snickety about things or with each other, or, you know, you're not letting me be free enough. I'm a free person. All of this sort of thing that you really do start throwing those grenades on yourself.
Oh, I couldn't grasp the concept that Lindsay just wanted to be with me. You know.
Understandable.
I get it.
It's just laughing here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, hang on, I haven't actually got to change or conform to anything.
Yeah.
I can actually be relaxed in who I am and in myself, and just start to fully embrace who I am. And that's almost the start of personal development in itself.
It's the self-awareness. It's the understanding that in order to create anything, you've got to put the mirror up to yourself. And what often we do, we go around holding the mirror up to the world going, look at all of this, it's terrible. And actually, when we hold the mirror up to ourselves, we start to reflect, we start to understand ourselves better. Again, that's where we start to turn it up. And it's been beautiful, like as your friend, even though like standing on the sidelines, because we're both so terribly busy, that's an oxymoron. We're both so gloriously busy that we haven't got time just to go, hey, how you doing? But, you know, it's nice to message every now and again. I see you, I see the things you're doing, I can see the incredible stuff that you're doing, and checking in and growing, and seeing you grow in that way has been phenomenal as your mate. mate stood on the sidelines. I'm like, fucking goals.
Yeah. Say with you. Seen that? I remember seeing a pic. I think it was last weekend, and it was a picture of you in your garden. It was like I could just see your feet shot, but you were lying down in your garden, looking out in your garden stuff, and it's stuff like that drives me on. Let me tell you now. It's not about, Scruffy Monkey's a thing and as a business, and all the clients that we get, that just kind of takes care of itself now. That's a thing unto itself. Where I'm at now is I get as much satisfaction and happiness in my life of actually seeing other people progress, and that gives me fulfillment and feeds me in a way that a lot of other things don't. I need. I'm one of those annoying people who love to watch award show.
Yeah.
I love to see people doing well. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it when I see people. Oh, I've just achieved this. I've just done that, and I love watching all that. I love seeing people unfold and then change and then develop. And that's where I'm at. And that's why the speaking stuff has started to happen, because I realised, I'm now in a position where I'm confident enough to share where I'm at. I can share the truth. I can share the story. The
really cool thing, and I just posted about this morning, is that actually speaking, when you're speaking, isn't just about speaking on stage. I was delighted in August 2019 to see your speaking debut, and you jumped on the stage like this firecracker. You was like angry and like emotional, but it was beautiful at the same time. It was like a bomb had gone off. I say something had opened up inside of you that you was absolutely ready for. And it's a shame that lockdown has happened, and that we're like 12 months out of this. But like peeping through the other side of this now, it is so much more than speaking. It's about connecting the value that you've got to give with the world, with you, like, because people have got to do the two things. Like when we're speakers, it isn't just about, hey, here's my story. It's here's the value that I've got to give. The connective tissue is I'm going to tell you a bit of my story to get us there so we can connect together. And I think seeing you develop in that way and seeing that this next bit of the journey for you is really exciting. Like you sharing the parts of your story that really means something, but then the value that you've got to bring in the teaching and learning that you're going to bring off the back of it is. I'm so excited.
It's so exciting. I've got it's on my desk right now. This is my little black book. So this what's been really interesting. So I have another little black book that and it's been for years. I've used it of making like personal development notes and all that. It's all there. I've put that book away because this is my book now. So this is. Do you know what I mean? It's a turn of its pages. So all these notes here. This is my mind and my story and my messages. So this now carries me. It's like a passing of a torch almost. Of do you know what? I'm going to actually give my messages now, and I have the belief in what I have to say, and I know it can help people. Yeah. And I'm just I'm so excited for what's going to happen. I've sat for too long, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and your story, and we say this all the time, becomes somebody else's survival guide. And you're at that point now where you've written some of that survival guide and you're ready to share those messages with the people who you want to help. It's not just about creating phenomenal websites anymore, creating phenomenal brands that sit within websites and all of that work that you do with Scruffy Monkey, which when you build those things, you do that digging around. You do get to know the whys and the whats and the wherefores and the real meat and bones of people's brands. But then actually you've got all of this extra bit on top. You get to become the change maker. It isn't just about the business, like you say, anymore. It's about the movement. It's about it's something bigger than you now. And that's when, you start to smash through just being the manager in your business to the person that stands out in front of it and say, no, this is, Chris Dawes and Lindsay Dawes, creators, owners, founders of Scruffy Monkey. It's a whole movement to be involved. It's a whole movement to be, to be sharing that message. And I couldn't be more proud of you, mate. Couldn't be more proud of you.
Thank you, mate. As I say, I've just been waiting too long. I think I was waiting for that to be told, it's your time to be a speaker. But I was scared. That's the truth, actually. I was scared to say it. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are scared to say it.
It's hard when we move in the circles that we move in, because we know some powerful speakers like Brad Burton, the UK's #1 motivational business speaker.
Amazing speakers, and you know, I listen to so many people speaking in my time, and some have blown me away, and some haven't. And you know, I think I was scared to say it because a lot of people say they want to be one, and they don't actually go through. I'm going to use the J word, journey.
We're here for it, though. We're here for it.
Oh, it is a journey. You know, they haven't been through the necessary journey to actually acquire their story correctly and package it up and think about it, or go through a certain level of personal development or business development to get into a certain point where they actually have the tools to do it. It was interesting that you know that now what talk that I did. It was a turning point in my life, but not for the reason. I
still got Wallace saying, "Be the seagull."
Be the bird. Yeah. But do you know what? That wasn't a success for the reason people think it was. People go on about it being a good talk and all that. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much. But the reason that was a success was because of the feeling that I had after it. And the feeling that I had after it, I remember Brad Burton said to me, "Do you feel that? Do you feel it? Can you feel it?" I said, "Yeah, I can." I knew that because I knew that was going to happen. And what I meant by that was because I was starting to conquer my mindset and understand what I knew that was going to happen. Right? I'd envisioned, I used my mindset to control those conditions. I was 100% in control that was going on. And more importantly, you know, when I was a young kid, early teens as well, I used to win drama awards, poetry awards. I won everything. I could stand on stage, and that disappeared in my teenage years. And, you know, I was talking about really quiet, and that for whatever reason just went. And when that happened, it's like I'm back. Yeah, back. Do you know what I mean? And that was you know, I can take the good things from my past, and that potential that I had is still there. Yeah, and I can use that now as a driver to go, do you know what, Chris? You take those good bits, forget the shit. I can take those good bits, and now, you know what? We've come full circle. We've come full circle of realizing our potential and the good things of the past, and we're going to fucking go for it.
I love it. I can't think of any better way to begin to wrap up our incredible conversation today. I know it will have been a big kick up the bum for a lot of people that are listening this morning, and those that are watching on the replay as well. Chris, what's coming up next for you? Tell me.
Oh, mate. So this Thursday, I am keynoting at the Pennines Business Show.
Nice.
So, I've got loads of podcasts, and May 4th, because I'm a Star Wars nut, is a busy speaking day. I'm always asked to bloody speak on Star Wars. I'm speaking some Star Wars stuff that Scruffy Monkey, mate. Honestly, we've got 11 projects running right now, builds and stuff. So the team are really busy with that. As much speaking in the diary as possible. So where I'm at is, as part of developing my craft, so to speak, is get as many dates in the diary to exercise the speaking. And you know where I'm coming from. You've got to keep, you know, so I'll do the same talk repeatedly, but what the audience doesn't know, I'm shifting and changing it every time.
Every time.
Lift that out, pull that in, lift that out, pull that in. You know,
that's the skill of it. That's the skill of being a speaker.
That was shit. That didn't land. Drop that. Let's go different. So it's exercising the lungs a bit and going for it, and just enjoying it. Just enjoying it.
I love it. I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad that you are still in my world. Chris Dawes, you can go and find out more by hanging out on, you can go, check out the Scruffy Monkey website. Obviously, I'm imagining that we could just connect with you, drop your friendship request, or...
Everyone connect with me, mate. If you're a fan of Dash Hounds, you're going to love my Facebook feed. I do have a daughter, but I'm going to take my
Oh, Christos, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up with you this morning, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me. You're an absolute belter, and I wish you so much more continued success. It's just a pleasure to watch and be a part of. So I'll see you later, my friend. Christos, Post Coffee Bookie, everybody. What a powerhouse of a homie we had on this morning, ready to rip up a Tuesday. What you're saying there, me too. Love seeing success happen. It's even better when two bloody amazing humans like you. Thank you, my darling. I don't know who this is. Who is this? There's such a huge insight about award show. I know people who love them, but lots of people are playing nasty about it. I get it. I want an Oscar and a Chuffy badge. I'm with you. You can get a Chuffy badge. You can go to the imthequeenbee.co.uk website, go to the merch store, grab yourself a Chuffy badge. All profits go to the Fly Anyway Foundation. Lots of incredible news coming up about the Fly Anyway Foundation, by the way. We raised over £1,000 for the Fly Anyway Foundation as part of being inspired with donations through the day. Chuffy badges being sold and merch being sold, which was absolutely phenomenal. Thank you to everybody who has done that. It's Geraldine. Hey, Geraldine. So good to hear you both speaking so enthusiastically today. Thank you, Pauline. It's the intention that we bring the energy to you guys of a morning in response, I guess, to sometimes the quite dire news that we see on the morning of a morning when we turn our TVs on. So make sure, if you have been inspired this morning to think about how you can speak about your business, you need to make sure you get involved with the So You Want to Be a Speaker Challenge. Be Heard So You Want to Be a Speaker Challenge. I'm just going to pop the link in here again. You need to be signed up to be in it to win it, by the way. We've got some wicked prizes on the table, sparring strategy retreats. We've got merch on the go, hampers on the go, all sorts of stuff. But you have to be signed up to the challenge in order to be in it to win it. So that's Tuesday to Friday next week. And then, of course, we'll be throwing the doors open to Be Heard, the program, and also the Be Inspired Mastermind. If any of you want to speak to me specifically about the Be Inspired Mastermind, please get in my inbox. We have shifted 5 spaces already, and I have not launched yet. So if you are wanting to take part in the Be Inspired Mastermind, if you want to work with me more closely, be a part of the Be Inspired event, which is going to be on the 30th of September. If we sell out one day, we will open up for another day, and it will become a 2-day event. I feel like that's the way that it's going to go. I feel like it's going to be a 2-day event. At the moment, as it stands, it's a 1-day event. We fill it up, 10 speakers per day, plus guest speakers. But if you want to be a part of it, please do get in my DM sooner rather than later to sign up to the Be Inspired Mastermind. There is a huge discount for Be Inspired event ticket holders. So if you have got a Be Inspired event ticket, you can get £2,000 off cost of the mastermind. So please get in my inbox about that if that is something that you've been wanting to make a move on. I know it's on a lot of your vision boards and has been for a while. If you wanted to make a move and be speaking on that stage with me on the 30th of September at the Impossible Manchester in real life, oh my God, can't wait, then you need to get in my DMs ASAP, and we can get you hooked up and sorted and signed up. So 5 spaces have already gone. We've got 5 spaces left on day 1 before we open it up for another cohort. Right, I'm excited. I'm going to go and rip it up. I'm going to go speak to my incredible Power 6 down from my Be More incubator. I will see you guys tomorrow at 9:30 for more showing up, wising up and rising up. I think we're joined by the incredible Emily Harrison tomorrow. Don't miss that. She is phenomenal. See you later. I just winked. Oh, it was so cheesy. I love it though. Have an incredible day. I will see you tomorrow. Tra!